Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. We're starting off with this picture of Mars. This is apparently the clearest picture ever taken, and of course, credit goes to NASA and to the Twitter handle Black Hole. That's where I get all these fabulous photos that you guys really seem to love. So at any time, feel free to go on there and look at the photos that they have, because they really do have some interesting ones. We only have a few things to cover, and then basically the main thing that we're going to cover today is going to be the Commonwealth Games, which look like so much fun. I wish I could be there. So let's just jump in and cover what we've got. I have some video that proves something that Tom Bauer put in his book, something I never noticed before until Tom Bauer mentioned it, but I pulled the video. So let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. To start off with, there's an artist on Instagram by the name of Mag9000 Series, which sent me the following artwork that you're looking at. This was all done freehand. She sent it to me and said I could use it. Fabulous artwork. Thank you. This last one, by the way, is my absolute favorite. All right, moving on. Next up, I have two pictures of Johnny Thompson sent to me by a follower. The first one is the Ballater Pipe Band March Off from Beating Retreat in 2019. And apparently this one was very recent. He's sitting behind Boris Johnson. All right, moving on. All right, this next item I pulled off Twitter. People are still asking about Meghan's age. So this is what this person put. To answer some of the questions that came in after my podcast, Tom Bauer reveals Meghan is 45, not 40, and here's the giveaway. Joshua Silverstein, the first boy kissed by Markle when she was 13 at summer camp in LA, is 45. They were both 13. Interesting. All right, moving on. All right, some of these articles, I'm bringing them up, but they're ridiculous. This one, Meghan steps in. Harry's worried he'll spark a fight with the firm with his book. Little late to be worried about that. Then you have ridiculous ones like William is going to follow in Harry's footsteps and break out of the royal bubble because he's trapped and blah, 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 blah. I think we all know that that's not true. And this article really caught my attention because so far Prince Harry's court battle over the bodyguards has cost the UK taxpayer over £100,000. But never fear, because the government said that after it's over and Harry loses, they're going to sue him for that money back. So, all right, moving on. And finally, we have articles like this one. Harry and Meghan went back to their mansion annoyed about the way they were treated at the Platinum Jubilee. The truth of the matter is they were invited to everything. They were told to come to everything, and they were going to be seated based on the rank that they chose because they chose to step away from the family, and it didn't go the way they wanted, and that's why they were annoyed. Oh, well. All right. Now, I got this letter that said, remember what you said, in the video about Meghan bullying Charlotte, and it made, Catherine cry. And this person wrote to me and pointed out that after Harry's wedding, the Cambridges are seen leaving the chapel with the kids, which I didn't even think about that. But yes, I've never seen that happen in a royal wedding before. You never separate the children. It didn't happen at William and Catherine's wedding. It didn't happen at Eugenie's wedding. And, so what's going on here? So I decided to pull the video and take a look because she's right. Okay, here we go. So the first video we're going to look at is Eugenie's wedding. And we know that the children all held hands going up the aisle. What we're concerned with was not entering, but coming out of the church. So here they are walking out, and as you can see, the children that walked in are all walking out together. There's George and Charlotte, and they're all leaving together, the children, in a group behind the bride and groom. Just the way they entered. Here they come. You can see them clearly in the background. Now let's look at Harry and Meghan's wedding. I didn't pay any attention to this when the wedding was going on. I guess it just, I missed it. Okay, here we go. Here they are leaving, and George and Charlotte are not with them. As you can see, they've been separated from the other kids. And I was like, okay, where are they? There they are, holding on to Catherine and William's hands, being walked back down the aisle by their parents. Very interesting. With that being said, and knowing that that didn't happen at Catherine and William's wedding, that didn't happen at Eugenie's wedding, but at Meghan and Harry's wedding, the children had to be taken by the nanny once they went behind the screen and then handed to their parents coming back down the aisle so that Jessica Mulroney's children couldn't be around them. What does that say? Because we all know that Jessica Mulroney was accused of bullying a Black influencer online. And then after she bullied her, she apologized and then sent the influencer a private message where she threatened to sue her. And that was the end of Jessica Mulroney. She lost everything. You never heard a word from her since. Meghan's never admitted that she's still in contact with her. So do I think that somebody who would act like that would encourage their kids to bully another child? Yes, I do. Jessica Mulroney should speak up at this point, and she better have something to say, or else people are going to just think even worse of her and worse of her children, especially her daughter, Ivy. All right, we are moving on to the Commonwealth Games now. Now, in the past, we know the Queen has always been there. She's always participated. This one girl was taking a picture and the Queen photobombed her. The Queen doesn't do selfies, but she did that day. Anyway, she has a long, illustrious history with the games, and so the games have started. Unfortunately, she couldn't go this time, but they're off and running. Now, the pictures from now on will probably not be in the correct order. I'm just doing the best I can do with what I have. So to start with, Charles arrived in Birmingham early, and he went around meeting the competitors and supporting their teams and volunteers at the Athletes' Village. It looks to me like everybody's having a fabulous time. It looks like the weather could not have been any better for this. All the athletes are prepared. They're loving it, the food, the atmosphere. And this is one of those times when I sit back and I go, oh my goodness, what I wouldn't give to be in the UK today. This is just like with the Platinum Jubilee. I would have done anything to have been there, but of course I couldn't get there. Anyway, he went around, he met everybody, and everybody looked really happy to meet him. That's the part that I get. Now, also before the games started, Charles went to meet members of the Rwanda national cycling team. So they went out of their way to meet him. He must be having the best time. Everybody must be having just the best time. And I love all the outfits and the headdresses and the jewelry. Looks fabulous. All right. Moving on, so as you can see, the crowd started forming, and I do love, just like with the Platinum Jubilee, they put up these huge screens so that everybody would be sure to have a view of what was going on, no matter where you were. So if you weren't right in there, you could still be outside and see everything. I think that's really great, the way they set it all up. Lots of people, everybody's there, looks fabulous. Then Charles arrived on the field. Watch this. Charles be looking like James Bond getting out of that car. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the car that William and Catherine drove away in to go to Clarence's house to change for their evening reception? I believe it is. You guys should also know this car doesn't run off gasoline. It runs off a byproduct of wine and cheese. Very cool. Then, of course, you have the parade, just like in the Olympics. You have the parade and all the countries come walking through and they're all carrying signs. There's, Australia was there, and then you had Cook Island, and then, and they all look fabulous because they're all wearing their country's colors and their outfits. But I'll tell you who was really shining this year with their outfits, and that would be Africa. They were really, really shining this time around. You had all the different areas. You had Kenya was looking really good. You had the South African. You had I don't think I'm going to say that one right, but okay. You had Mauritius. You had Ghana. You had Kenya. They all looked fabulous. Everybody looked fabulous. Anyway, yeah, Fiji. So they're all walking through, and of course, you know how that goes. They all walk through, and then afterwards, you have a show. Well, the show was a little odd. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Watch this. one point, they used classic cars in the opening ceremony to make the flag, the UK. Just watch this. It's really cool. And you guys remember Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala? She spoke during the opening ceremonies. I think that's just wonderful. I can't help it. Every time I see her, I think about her mother telling Harry off. Remember, I did that video on that a while ago. He put his arms around her, and the mother was like, "Get your hands off my daughter." Oh, okay, moving on. They had flybys. I love the way they do the color streaming behind the planes. Pretty cool. They did a lot of things, and some of it was a little odd. Some of it, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but you know that the people that were there were getting all into this, thoroughly enjoying it. At some point, they read the Queen's private message, which had been placed in the baton the year before. And as you can see, what it says is, "My warmest thanks go to all those who have worked so hard to ensure the success of this particularly special event, and I wish each athlete and team every success." I just think that's lovely. I mean, obviously it was longer than that. That's just the end of it. As a side note, Sophie was there at the opening ceremonies with Charles. She looked absolutely wonderful in this shimmering green outfit. I'm not exactly sure who the maker was, but she looked absolutely lovely. She always does. It's nice to see that she and Charles have such a nice relationship. I love that. For those wondering, Edward was also there. They had such a variety there. Even the Birmingham Royal Ballet and Brummie Dance Group brought to life a dance. I just think that's fabulous. And the dance signified the restoration of the city's iconic library and its famous canals. And lastly, I just want to share some scenes with you guys of some of the opening events. There was a lot of lights, there was a lot of music, there was a lot of dancing, there was a lot of everything. Everybody was happy to be there. Now, at the very end of the opening, you had this bull, okay? Now, I'm not sure what the significant ones at first. There was a bull standing there. There were children wearing these hats that were shaped like bulls. And you had to wonder, what was the significance of this? Especially when at the very end, they brought out this huge metal bull. I wish I had the video to show what was going on. I don't. Maybe, I'll be able to find something later. But I had to look and say, what was the significance of this? What was this? Okay, this is what I found for you guys. So here we go. The multicolored bull, known as Perry the Bull. The mascot was designed by a 10-year-old girl who won a nationwide competition held among children aged 5 to 15. The bull is made up of colorful hexagons on its body, hairy hooves and horns, and it wears the official logo top. Now, because she created the mascot, Emma Lou was given tickets to the opening ceremony and will, attend everything. But you can actually buy the bull and things about the bull and, little things that they're selling thanks to this little girl's design. Good for her. Of course, they had the grand finale with the fireworks. Looked wonderful. I'm telling you, everybody had a fabulous time. And again, I wish I could see this, but I will be watching this from the United States, as I think a lot of people will. It's going to be wonderful to watch the games. Really quickly, I want you guys to know that they did pull out this huge metal bull. It took 5 months to build. It stood 10 meters high. It was being pulled along by female chain makers. Now, in the 19th century, women used to work long hours in hot and cramped outhouses for hardly any pay, making change, which led to a famous strike for better conditions. So the bull ends up shedding its armor to symbolize the famous strike of 1910 when the chain makers went on strike for better conditions, which earned them a new minimum wage that doubled their earnings. And the collapsing bull represents the victory of the working classes over their employers. Very nice. All right. I would like your thoughts on the video that you saw of Harry and Meghan's wedding what happened with those kids, because we know Tom Bauer is claiming that Charlotte was bullied, that she was being bullied by Jessica Mulroney's daughter, that Megan was encouraging the bullying, Jessica was encouraging the bullying, nobody stepped in, and that's why Kate got upset and was crying. Plus, she was overly emotional because she had just given birth to Louis. So, I would really like your comments, though, on everything that was in this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of uploads. And if you've already hit the button, please just double check and make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. And for those of you who have donated through my thanks button and to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.